strange to me. 2025 sounded strange. I don't know. 2026 almost sounds stranger. But we're really excited about having Stephanie Bennett here today. And I'm hoping everybody survived the holiday season and all those versions of Jingle Bells that all of our students play. Jingle Bells, Silent Night, Jolly Old Saint Nicholas. Those are the top three for my beginning students. Um, so love to tell you a little bit about Stephanie, and then I really want to give her as much time as possible today because she's got so much to cover for us. She was gracious enough to send her bio, which I'm going to read to you now. The Hollywood Reporter has called Stephanie Bennett one of our country's top harpists. You might have seen her on TV in the orchestras of American Idol, The Voice, and Dancing with the Stars, the latter with the acoustic trio version of rock band Florence and the Machine. She has performed in 14 countries and has toured with artists as diverse as R&B legend Bobby Womack, featuring Sly Stone, big band Ray Conniff Singers and Orchestra, Persian singer star Darnish, Dariush, thank you, Mexican superstars Vincent and Alejandro Fernandez, and, and Canadian band Cowboy Celtic. Stephanie has recorded several solo albums of her own compositions and played harp on Album of the Year Grammy-winning recordings of Adele 21 and Beck Morning Phase. She has also played on recordings by Sir Paul McCartney, Josh Groban, Linda Ronstadt, Meatloaf, and SpongeBob SquarePants, and on numerous film scores. She enjoys teaching harp lessons and creating harp arrangements of many different styles of music, many of which are available at Melody's Traditional Music, folkharp.com. Stephanie's music-related website is www.harpworld.com. She also has www.stephaniebennett.com, but that's mostly vegan recipes and pictures of her cats. So thank you so much for joining us today, Stephanie. Thank you, Mary, and to Melody's Music for sponsoring our Harp Teachers Gathering, our first one of 2026.
Good. Well, thank you for having it. This is a very important subject for teachers, and it's great for students also. So far right now I have about 9 students. Only one of my students has an iPad, a big iPad, and because she also she volunteers playing organ and keyboard in church services of senior living homes, and she uses it for there also. So my student who uses the iPad is in her early 80s. She's been studying with me for a couple of years, so I don't want to hear anybody saying, "Oh, I'm too old to learn technology," you know. What does it take to learn technology? It takes patience, just like it takes to learn harp. It takes patience. You don't get it all on your first try, right? And it takes patience. So let's start out by saying that I recommend the app that can do everything is called ForScore, 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 and their website is fourscore.co, not .com, and that was developed. It can do everything you need. Set lists, I'm going to tell you about a bunch of stuff it can do. Annotations, set lists, cloning, bookmarks, rearranging, etc. It's only for Apple iPads, and I recommend you get yourself a large iPad. I got an iPad Pro. This is an iPad Pro, and it's 13 inches measured diagonally, so it's the same size as a normal sheet of paper that we're used to reading from. You don't want to try to read music on a regular size iPad like this. I'm talking to you now from my regular size iPad, so I keep a regular size iPad for my remote lessons, so I can use my iPad Pro just for sheet music. In addition to the iPad Pro, they also now make an iPad Air that you can get in 13 inches, the same size. I don't think that was available when I first started using ForScore. I was looking back at my notes, and I've been using ForScore for at least 12 years, because I have notes going back to 2014. And the app itself is $25, but don't go, oh, I'm going to try to do without it because I don't want to spend $25. It's $25 and you own it. It's not a subscription. They give you all the updates for free. And so it's really worth it because it can do everything you need to do. Let's see, Mary had asked me, how do you get a PDF onto the iPad? So I sent her a 2-page sort of outline with more details about how to get a PDF onto your iPad, but I'll try to go through that quickly. Now, I use all Apple devices. I have Apple computers, plural, and Apple iPads, plural. So I know how to get it to and from with Apple devices. There's 3 different ways you might get PDFs. You might buy them from some of the distribution sites like folkharp.com sells PDFs. You might scan something yourself, and you might create something yourself. If you either write arrangements on paper, or if you transcribe them nicely with a software program. I use Sibelius, and it's a little more intuitive than Finale. Finale's been around a long time. But both Finale and Sibelius have free versions that can't do everything, but they can do something. So if you want to make your scores look nice and typed and printed and a little more professional looking, then look into at least the free versions, and of course they get you hooked, and then you want the paid versions, which are much more expensive, of Sibelius. I think their beginner version is called Sibelius First, spelled just like the composer Sibelius, Sibelius. Did I do that right? I think.
Mhm.
And then Finale is spelled just like Finale of Music, Finale. Theirs is called Finale Notepad, I think is the free version, but it might have changed by now. So, why do I love my iPad Pro and my ForScore? I love them. How do you get PDFs in? Okay, so if you created your own, like I do arrangements and compositions on in Sibelius, I save that in Sibelius as a PDF, and then actually the computer that I do Sibelius on is so old, it doesn't know how to airdrop, but I have networked my newer laptop to my older one, so I can look at it from my newer laptop, look at that PDF, and then use send or share. It's called send or share. It'll either say share, or the universal symbol for send is a rectangle with an arrow coming up out of it. That means share or send. I hit that, and it'll say, how do you want to send it? Do you want to send it to somebody in email, or, all with icons, it's not talking to me? Or do you want to send it in messages, or do you want to send it, do you want to airdrop it? And I select, yes, I want to airdrop it. Meanwhile, so that's in my computer so far, okay? Meanwhile, I have my iPad open to ForScore, and when I hit airdrop, it'll say, oh, do you want me to send it to your iPad Pro? I say, yes, I touch the picture of that. And it goes into the files of my iPad. The files is, let's see, I'll go, here's the home page. No, it did it. In the Apple iPad, this little picture of a file folder, that's files, and that's where the PDF originally goes. But when I first send it in there, it'll, right at the top of the files page, it'll say open in ForScore, and I tap on that and it goes into my ForScore. Okay. Quite similarly, if you buy a PDF from one of the sites like Melodies or Music Notes or Harp Column, I usually do that from my computer, and then you download it, it's on my computer, and I do the same thing. Share, airdrop to the iPad Pro, goes into Files, and then I touch Open in ForScore. You can also scan it yourself. Mary mentioned a scanning app that she likes. Mary, do you want to tell us what that was? And I'll grab mine and show you mine.
Well, I've always used Genius Scan. I think it works real well. It saves it with a weird name, the date 2026 dash whatever. It saves it with a weird name. But you can scan anything and then email it. I scan a lot of stuff that I have to send my accountant in that too. So, yeah, but yeah, Genius Scan.
And I like one called DocScan Pro. I use that for my phone. Now, ForScore itself does have a scanning feature. They call it Darkroom, I believe. No, it's called Scan now. They used to call it they used to call it Darkroom. So here I am, and this is what I do in lessons if I want to show them my iPad. I just hold it up like this. Okay, there's the tools bar. If it disappears, I just hit this. Okay, okay. I keep touching it when I don't mean to touch it. Okay. That picture kind of looks like a suitcase or a toolbox. That's tools. I hit that. Look down the menu. I don't know if you can see those or not. And there's one called Scan. Okay, but at least in my experience, maybe I haven't played with it enough, but it just takes a picture and it comes out. You can save it as black and white, but it still comes out with whatever shadows are in the room, and if you're a little off center and it looks like a trapezoid, I'm not aware that there's a way to correct that. But my DocScan Pro is very smart about if I scan something just with my phone, I just take a picture like that. It offers me, it puts an outline. Even if I wasn't straight on to the page like this, if it came out a little bit like this, the DocScan Pro app guesses which part I want to save, and it'll see, especially if you put it on a dark background or a different colored background, it'll outline the page like this, and like, is that what you want to save? And you can correct it if it's not correct. And then it saves it as a perfect rectangle. Okay, so that's very important. And also when I save it in black and white, it corrects all the shadows and so forth that were on it if I didn't take it in perfect lighting. So that's worth it to me. And it also initially saves as new scan 2026-01-108, but then you can tap right on that and change the name right there. Tap on X, this is in DocScan Pro, give it a name, whatever name you want to give it. And then, so then it's in DocScan Pro, and I go done, and then, let's see, oh, then there's that little, I told you about the icon of a rectangle with an arrow coming out of it. That's what I do. I go, it's called export here. Export. And then it shows me, I just ignore all this. I only use this arrow. It says open in. And that's going to offer me a choice of PDF or JPEG. I want PDF because I want to get it into my ForScore. So I do that, and then next, okay. And then this comes up. Do you want to send it to your iPad Pro? Do you want to airdrop it? Does that say iPad Pro? No, it says iPad 2018. That's the iPad I'm talking to you on. So I would choose, do you want to message it to any of these people? No, not right now. I want to airdrop it. And then that allows me to airdrop it to, there is my iPad Pro. So that's how I would tap that and it'd go right into my iPad Pro files. I hope that's clear. So let's
Oh,
face it.
we've just also uploaded Stephanie's outline for today in the chat, where she has some really good explanations in case you're not able to keep up with all of your own notes while she's speaking.
Yeah, I did. It's a couple pages.
And this is a good time that you can open up that file that Mary just posted in the chat and take a look at it while we hopefully get reconnected with Stephanie. She may have to log back in. Yeah, I think she'll have to log back in. So just put in the chat, how many of you are currently using the iPad for online lessons? I was forced into that during our wonderful 2020 epidemic, uh, COVID, and I had been thinking about it for a while. Um, and of course, that's what made me take the leap. And I've haven't sat down to transfer my entire students library, but I was talking to Mary earlier, and it's kind of been based on a as needed basis that I have scanned the music in for my students and created a genre for students or teaching for those pieces that are a little aren't ones that I'm using on gigs. I used a single iPad for both my gigs and my teaching, so it's been important for me to figure out how to categorize it. And sometimes I'm a little lazy, and when I scan something in, I don't uh, right away label the genre and the composer. And then when I'm sitting at the airport or traveling or at a doctor's office, I'll go back and try to type those in. Much easier if I would just do it all at once. So it looks like some of you have been using this. And how about, are there any of you who this is something that you're wanting to do, but you really haven't yet used for your teaching? And even with online lessons, I've used this now, even if they're in person sometimes, especially if the student has forgotten their music. I forgot that piece. Oh, that's okay. I have it right here. So yeah, some of us still using it for orchestra and gigging. I think a lot of the things that, Stephanie's going to show us today will transfer to how we're using ForScore for gigs as well. But there are some specific and unique um, things using it for students, like creating playlists and such.
Okay, and Stephanie's electricity went out.
Ooh,
She's in California, but she's
here,
back now. She had to wait for her, Wi-Fi. So here she is back again. Thank you, Kimberly, did you let her in, Kimberly?
I did.
Okay, thank you for covering while I panicked, because I do that. I'm really good at panicking.
All right.
Mute and start video.
And there you are.
Because we were on iPad and it wasn't plugged in, but it caused my Wi-Fi to go out. So, and that just, fortunately, I just sat there and glared at for a minute and it came back on. So, okay. So I was
Glad
starting,
you're back.
and so am I. Okay. Yeah, so there are notes on the PDF handout of how to get, you can, so I would like to say that if I already own a tangible book, before I spend all the time to scan it and save it and upload it onto my iPad, I prefer to check if there's a PDF version available, because I'd rather spend $15 to buy the PDF and put that straight into my iPad than to spend at least 2 hours
Yep.
snapping each page. But I have done that with books that are not available as PDFs. And some older books are now available as PDFs. I thank the copyright owners for doing that. Like Fun from the First is a very old book that I originally, by Sam Milligan, I first started learning out of when I was learning harp for the first time. That's available as a PDF. What's not is old tunes for new harpists, which I also use a lot. So I took the time to scan each page and put them together. So you can do that. Let's see. So now I was just telling Mary that she can use libraries. I'm going to try to show you the main menu at the top of ForScore. Here's a page of ForScore. Wait, let me switch to something else that's mine or something. Let's see. No. Okay, that's okay. I'll go back to all scores. Anyway, so on my iPad rather, when I double tap on the page to make the top menu appear and disappear. See the top menu? On my harp student's iPad, it's tapping once. So each version of ForScore is going to be a little bit different. Here, this icon of a half note is going to be a list of all your scores that you have in ForScore. So there's that. Let me see how I have that set. Okay. Once I tap that half note icon, it comes up like this. The first choice is composers, and now it's listed by composers, except there's also a choice for all scores. I usually use all scores. Ba-doom, ba-doom. And now it shows all the scores I have in here alphabetically. And I think I have over 3,000. Yeah, it says right here, 3,513 items. Now, so when I'm looking at that, Mary, it says library up here. And if you haven't separated it into separate libraries, it's going to be everything. But now it gives me a choice of libraries. I have all libraries. I have it set to all libraries. I have one called SCL Vocal Workshop that I took once where they sent us several scores to study because I knew I wasn't going to need them for anything else, just for that one workshop. And then past casuals. So you can separate it, Mary, into gigging library. You create your own names. You can create a new library and you name it. So that's one way if you wanted to just look at all your teaching things in one library and all your gigging things in another library. That would be all on one iPad, but keeping them separated. Just remember to choose library if you get confused. Okay, so now let's see. Let's look back to the main menu. That half note was all scores. This one that looks like an open book is bookmarks, and that's for saving. Suppose you have Sylvia's 50 Christmas Carols book, as most of us do, several of my students do, and you want to be able to find a certain song. You can go through this and create a bookmark with the name of each song, and then your whole book of 50 Christmas Carols by Sylvia Woods will still show in your list of scores, but then each individual song will show there as well. That's what the bookmarks are for. Let's see, I'm going to go back here. The third icon of a stack of 3 pancakes is how I think of it. That's very important. That's your set lists. Set lists. And save a set list for each individual student. I'll go back to that. I'll just show you this cloud is called services, and it'll show you what's in your files of the Files app is built into iPads. It's also music notes where I've bought scores from, and these other services that I have never bought scores from. But when I tap on music notes, here's a list of all the scores I've ever bought or downloaded for free because they give away one free public domain song each month. I can open that and notice I'm still in ForScore. This allows me to open that within ForScore. Made a little downloading icon, and then it's gonna, okay. Oh, I tapped it like I wanted to download it, but it's saying you've already got California Here I Come in your iPad. So do I want to duplicate it? Do I want to overwrite it? Or do I want to skip it? I just hit skip. So I don't want to look at it right now. So then that song will go right from your music notes. I want to explain, I bought the music notes score from my laptop and paid for it there. And then it automatically shows up in my music notes list on here. Music notes already has also has its own separate app, but you don't have to use the music notes app because ForScore can do so much more. That's the music notes app. But I'd rather have ForScore open, choose services, music notes, and then that score appears right in ForScore. Okay, I was showing you the icons. Okay, let's talk about set lists, the stack of 3 pancakes at the top. And the stack of 3 pancakes is going to mean something else in other tools. But here's a list of all my set lists. Some of them are pieces I was working on, some of them are gigs I did, some of them are all the songs from Camelot that I scanned separately from paper. I have a set list for originals, etc. And then I also have, it's alphabetical. The letters are kind of hard to see here, they're tiny. But you can either scroll to get alphabetically. I hope I'm not making you seasick with moving my iPad around, but that's how I do. Here's 2 folders. These 2 folders, and you can put set lists within folders. It only has 1 layers of folders. It doesn't allow you to put folders within folders. But you'll see I have students past set lists and students 2026. So I select that. And that's the various set lists for students that I have that I just updated this year. I created new set lists that's called each student's name in 2026. Always look for the back button if you want to go back. I'm going back to set lists. I'm showing you, for example, I've made a folder of students past set lists because sometimes they'll be working on something one year and then they're not working on it anymore the other year, or they're working on it real hard in December for Jingle Bells and now they're not working on it anymore. So when I had a student in here for their 2025 set list, let me find a set list. Okay, here's a 2025 set list. I think it's by plus. No, plus is to add something to the set list. Okay. Plus is when you want to add something from your library to the set list. Here with the red dots, that's what's already in this set list. And here, if I touch any of these songs, it'll go into that set list. Okay. X, go back. So it's in my list of set lists that I would click on a student's 2025 set list. I'll just try to show you with this one because she's no longer studying. And then edit. I think it's within edit. See, I clicked on this set list. There's a list of what's in the set list. Edit. And then I can... Nope, sorry, I'm going to try to remember how to clone something. Cancel. Set list. Add a set list. Edit. Okay. I apologize. I have to long tap on the name of the set list, leave my finger there, then it gives me a new menu, which includes duplicate. So if I duplicate this set list, it's going to name itself the original name with a little 2 after it. and then I can change the name of that. Here we go. I just created Allison Davis 2022 2. And then if she was still studying with me, I changed that name to 2026. So, okay, so then let's look within one student's set list. And, oh yeah, I wanted to show Mary how, when you already own a PDF, you can clone that PDF in order to save markings for each individual student. Okay, let's look for, okay, set lists. I'm going to find, okay, so I went to my list of songs and I'm going to select California Here I Come because that's one I got for free from Music Notes, so I'm pretty sure that it's public domain. So I'm going to go here. No, wait, you have to go. Let's see. Composers. Oops. Also, you can confuse yourself by accidentally hitting something in this menu here. Now that I'm in the list of songs, somehow I accidentally hit recent. And now it's showing me not the list of all my scores, but the list of which ones I've looked at the most recently. So I'm going to touch the A. See that little, and I didn't touch it right. Here's the list of scores, but it's recent. So I'm going to touch the A, and now it's showing them in alphabetical order again. California, Here I Come. Okay, to clone it, there's a couple steps. I have to select Edit first, and then it grows circles here. Then circle the one that I want to duplicate. And now this, oh, just that one. Now a menu comes up that says Reset, Delete, Edit, Fetch, Share, or Clone. This menu up here is giving me the option to clone. So I want to save the same score, and it made it another California Here I Come with the exact same name. So quickly change the name of one of them. I'm going to change the name. So now I go to Select and Edit. So if I didn't have it selected, again I have to go Edit, this one, no, I'm holding it sideways, sorry. I have to go Edit, Edit, till the little circles appear, this one, and then Edit again. So now this Properties window, so I hit Edit, selected the song, and then hit Edit again. And now this window opens up, which is called Properties. It's got the name, I'm going to change the name to California Here I Come, Clone for Lee Wen. Okay. You typed that in, you just tap in the name. Okay. Okay, I called it California Here I Come, Clone for Seminar, and the name is too long, so I'm going to change the name to California HIC. Because I'll remember what that means. Okay. And then this X, one thing I hate is sometimes I'm finished with this page, the icon is a check, and sometimes the icon is an X. I think that's confusing because sometimes the X is to delete something. But this has no check mark, so the X is to, okay, I'm done. Now this clone appeared in my list. It's called California HIC Clone for Seminar. So now I can open this one and I can write on this, pretend this is for one of your students, and you write in to yourself, January 7th, I assigned measures 1 through 8, or mark in fingering for that particular student. White out notes, you can white out notes. There's a couple different ways to white things out. So, Mary, how do you feel? Did I explain cloning well enough? You look at your list of songs,
Yep.
hit edit, then select the song, then hit clone.
Yep. I did it. I did it once while you were talking.
Yay!
And, yeah, I did it once. I'll have to practice that.
Practice that. Write down how you did it. Jot it down real quick. That's what I do with softwares or anything. I don't just assume I'm going to remember. I take notes because I know I'm going to forget, and next time I'm going to have to look it up. So it comes up. Notice it comes up with the exact same name. So quickly change the name of one of them to clone for this student's name or whatever. So now it's kind of on the same subject, and I'm going to show you the icons on the other side. This squiggly line is annotate. Let me hit that. And it comes up. Remember I told you that the stack of 3 pancakes was going to mean different things? Here's a very faint. Here's the menu for annotating. Up at the top, there's a very faint 3 lines there and 3 lines here. That's how you move the toolbar. Very important to know that, because I've seen professional musicians struggling with that. He was trying to notate something up at the top of the page, and he couldn't see behind this toolbar. And I showed him, you can just move the toolbar. Ah, there you go, move it out of your way, whatever you're working on. So, okay, let's see. And this comes up with a bunch of different pen colors you can use. And it comes with certain pen sizes and so forth, but you can always create another one. I want a blue one that's a little thinner. So first I select it, then I tap it again. And this menu comes up. Can you see down here there's a trash can and a plus sign? The plus sign is duplicate. I want to duplicate this one, so now there's 2 that are exact the same, this blue line. But I want to edit this one so I can make the size bigger or smaller. There's the size. Here's the color, the hue. I can make it a slightly different blue. Oops, am I moving the hue? I'm moving the hue. I can change the color with the hue button, etc. I can change the transparency. So you can choose whichever colors you want. I like to use blue for fingerings and purple for chord names if I add those up top. There are also some pens that are white out. Of course, there's black. There's white. If you just want to white out something small, I can go. Can you see how that's whiting out? I might want to just white out these guitar diagrams because I don't need those. These little arrows here are very important. That's undo and redo. So I'm going to undo several steps of the whiting out that I did, and it's coming back. So you can write in fingerings, etc., notes to yourself that are for yourself, different notes for each student. Cloning it does not mean that you now own 2 copies of it and can give one away. It doesn't mean that. There's a paragraph I put in my handout that Kimberly's uploading that says, please model good copyright behavior to your students. This shows respect for composers, songwriters, arrangers, and retailers like Melodies, just as you don't have the right to photocopy a book and give it out to your students, even if you give it out for free. Some people think, oh, there's no harm because I'm not selling it. I'm giving it to my students for free so they can save $25 and not have to buy the book. You don't have the right to do that, and it's not fair to everybody that worked to put that together and worked to sell it to you. You don't have the right to share PDFs. There's a share button, I think, but that's like to send it to your computer or something. Now, I'm firm with my students about, oh, you should learn this arrangement. You buy the PDF, and they can print it out if they don't have an iPad. When you buy PDFs, you can always print it out. It's usually limited to only one. It depends on the retailer. They might limit you to only being able to print one, or they might have the ability to print several, but that doesn't mean you have permission to give it out, even for free. While we're on the subject of copyright, you do have the right to arrange and distribute public domain music, like Greensleeves. Again, that doesn't mean you can photocopy Greensleeves from a Sylvia Woods book and give that out just because Greensleeves is public domain, because Sylvia worked to put that in the book just so, okay? But you have the right to write out Greensleeves for your students in a software on paper and give them that. If it's public domain, look it up. It's a complicated subject, but there are lots of helpful websites that will help you understand public domain. For songs that are copyright protected, the legal way to do this is, and the easiest way, I was talking to Melody and Kimberly about this before. Mary, I'm sorry. Melody was your dog, I'm sorry. Mary and Kimberly before. And you can get permission from the copyright owner and exchange contracts with them and send them money and keep track of how many you've sold. Or it's much easier to upload it to musicnotes.com marketplace or arrangeme.com. Then you make your arrangement of a copyright protected song, send it to them. They take care of all the permissions and paying the appropriate royalties. And then they sell it for whatever you can set the price. Say you sell it for $10, and they'll send you a royalty. It's only like $1 each, but still it's something. I also recommend not giving permission for them to send it to the membership subscription services. I personally hate things like the subscription services. ForScore has one for $49. You can download all the scores you want, and then they send the arranger 3 cents or 2 cents. I noticed that on some of my statements. Oh, we sold a copy, here's $3. We sold a copy, here's $1. We sold a copy, here's 3 cents. I'm like, excuse me? And I had to specifically say, no, I don't give you permission to distribute it to any of the subscription sites where I'll get paid 3 cents for all my hard work. If they want it, they can pay $10 for the actual PDF. But you can control that if you know it exists. You got to find that. And so you can upload it to arrangeme.com and musicnotes.com/marketplace, and then make sure they know you don't want them to send it to any of the subscription services, unless you don't care, in which case share it with them so more people can have it and you can get your 2 or 3 cents. So that's legal. What I do with my students, yes, I often arrange something that a student asked me to arrange, and I might give it to them in bits and pieces. Okay, here's the first 4 measures, here's the next 8 measures, but I tell them at the start, and I make sure they know I mean it. I'm going to give this to you, and I don't have the legal right, so I want you to promise that when I finish the arrangement and upload it to Music Notes, you will go to Music Notes and buy the legal copy. And it's been my experience that if they hear that I mean it, they do it. And it's $10. To buy the legal copy, and then we're all clear. Okay, does that make sense to you? Let's see. Backing up is complicated, but it depends on what you're using, what kind of computer, and you should take care of it in case you break your iPad and you don't want everything that was in ForScore to be lost. Let's see, bookmarks, set lists, clone. Okay. I'm trying to leave 15 minutes at the end. Kimberly, have you gone through the chat and figured out what specific questions I might be able to answer?
A lot of just kind of input, not as many questions, but there is a question about the foot pedal for page turning when you're performing. So I know we're talking a little bit more from the teaching aspect, and then I have a question as well, or something else that I want to contribute with that. But can we just take a couple minutes to touch on the foot pedal?
Yeah, the foot pedal that's made to work with ForScore is Air Turn. Air Turn. This is an older model, and it has a foot pedal. I'm going to put this where you can see. When I press the foot pedal, wait, I have to find the one that's more than, oh, I have to exit from annotation mode before it'll turn pages. Okay. Oh, it's not turned on. Works better when you turn it on. Okay. Okay. You see, I put this down. It's turning pages. Oh, I'm covering up my iPad. Sorry. I'm going to go
Mhm.
back. When I put this on the floor and step on it, turning pages. So, yeah, you can still use that in teaching so that when you need to turn a page, this leaves your, when you use this for your feet, it leaves your hands free. Now, if you're playing pedal harp, which I also do, you can still turn the page on the iPad with your finger. So what I do is I use the pedal, and if my feet are busier than my hands, I turn the page with my finger. I'll show you that. And if my hands are busier than my feet, I turn the page with the pedal. It's on the floor now. So it's up to you where to put the pedal. I decided that with pedal harp, I only have 3 pedals on my left foot and 4 pedals for my right foot. So I like to put it, I'm picking this up to show you. I like to put it, that's not a good music stand to show you. Oops. That's the base of my, well, it's my folk harp that I was sitting next to right now. I kind of tuck it under, I'll show you my pedal harp. Now the pedal came with 2 pedals on it. The right one is for turning pages ahead, and the left one is for turning pages back. The one for turning pages back broke, so I just took it off, and I only turn pages forward now. And I did want to talk about rearranging. So if you have, like Sylvia Wood's arrangement of Mary Did You Know, it's several pages and you have to turn the page back to get to the repeat and to get to the DS and so forth. Using a foot pedal with pedal harp is a learning curve. The first couple times I did it, I accidentally hit my D pedal when I meant to hit the page turning pedal, and hit the page turning pedal when I meant to hit my D pedal, but you spend some time practicing with it until you get it. And just like pedal harp, you shouldn't look at them. You should train yourself till you place it exactly where you want it. And I did put some sort of non-skid rubber on the back of it so it doesn't slide around. And until you can tell the difference between your foot pedal and your D pedal, there's a harpist, tell me her name again, who puts it under her chair.
Jamie Hafner
Amy
has
Hafner.
has some videos online where she's got it kind of in between under her chair so she can whack it with either foot.
So sticks either foot under her chair to turn the page. So that works for her. You have to find out what works for you. There's no one right or wrong way. So I'm going to show you rearrange. Let's see. I'm going to find something I can show you. I'll show you California. Here I come again. It doesn't have any. Oh, it does have a repeat. Okay. California, Here I Come, which I'm pretty sure is free on musicnotes.com. They have quite a list of free sheet music. Now, it's not going to be harp arrangements. It's going to be either piano vocal or lead sheets or piano solos. So it has a repeat here on page 4 that goes all the way back to, where on earth does it go back to? Goes back to, does it even say? Oh yeah, it goes back to page 3. Okay, so I don't want to have to turn the page back from 4 to 3. So instead, I find the Tools menu. Tools, Rearrange. So right here it says Rearrange. That opens up a little map of all the pages. Um, and they're numbered. There's a number on it, page 1, which is just the title page, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, you have to pay attention when you're doing this, and just to be safe, save it as a different name. One thing I can do is I don't need the title page anymore. I click the X. Let's see, the little round dots underneath are X on the left, plus on the right. I've never used those other ones in between, so I just hit the X to delete the title page. Now, what do I want? I want another page 3 and another page 4. Why does it show 6 pages? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5. So it says it's 6 pages. Just going to save this for now and see which pages I need to overwrite. Okay, now it's page 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, it repeats from page 5 back to page 3. So I need to duplicate pages 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going back. I got out of the rearrange function. I'm going to go back to Tools, Rearrange. The pages are numbered. I'm going to need an extra page 3, so I hit the plus. I'm going to need an extra page 4, so I hit the plus. I'm going to need an extra page 5, so I hit the plus. Now they're not lined up correctly. It goes 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. I can drag the pages just by putting my finger on them. I'm going to want a page 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm dragging one of the page 4s after the first page 3. Then I'm going to want the first page 5. I drag that to here. So now I've got a page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. So I can just keep going forward and I won't have to turn the page back. Just in case you messed up, it's wise to save as. Save or save as. And it automatically names itself California Here I Come To. I made my own little shorthand. I just delete the page 2 and I write PTHB. NP. No, PTHB is my shorthand for Play the Heart Beautifully. NPTB is my shorthand for No Page Turn Back. I'm going to call it PTB. So I named it California Here I Come, No Page Turn Back, save. So now just in case I messed up, I can try again. So now I can use, okay, here's page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's the repeat bar. I'm going to highlight it with a nice big yellow highlight so I don't miss it. And I'm also going to cover up this part. You can white out, but there's also in notation mode. This was set to, oh, sorry, I'll do that again. This shows a little part of a staff. I tap it and I tap it again and scroll down. There's a white rectangle. I'm going to choose the white rectangle. And the white rectangle makes a big rectangular whiteout.
Mm-hmm.
So there's my first page 3. X to get out of this. Turn the page. When you're still in notation mode, you can turn the page with these arrows. Okay, here's my next page 4. I want the whole thing. Here's my next page 5. Did that turn out right? Let's see. Yep, okay. So it went back to my second copy of page 3, but I only need to play from here. So I'm going to, again, put that great big white white rectangle, blocking out this. The bottom part I don't need. I'm going to block out the whole first two systems I don't need. So now, after the repeat, it goes back to here. It's only a few measures. Next page is my entire page 4. Next page is my entire page 5. I might as well draw a white rectangle in front of the first ending because I don't need it this time. So now, I hope that's clear. I've duplicated the pages I'm going to see again so I can just turn the page forward without having to turn back. And
Thank you.
yeah,
We've got a couple more questions here. Could you remind us again what size iPad you use?
13 inches. And they measure it diagonally, which is kind of jive, but the biggest ones they offer are 13 inches diagonally, and that's about the size of a page of normal paper. And that comes in both iPad Pro and iPad Air. The iPad Air is less expensive. It's a newer one. I don't think it was available when I first started. So a
Mhm.
friend, and a harpist friend of mine just told me about that recently. She said, "Why would you buy an iPad Pro? An iPad Air can do all the same things." But I do like to have it big.
Yes, yeah, I do too. You had mentioned that you like the $25 version of ForScore as opposed to the free version. There was a question on what are the. Mhm.
I don't think I said there was a free version of ForScore. I said there were free versions of Sibelius and of Finale. And those
Okay.
are transcription programs where you can input notes and it'll come out nice and printed looking.
Okay.
If there's a free version of ForScore, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either. That was came from Mary. Mary, are you using a different version? This is Mary Ament. You had asked this question. Are you using, is there another version of Fourscore besides the pro version?
I think I'm using I think I originally paid $15, but there's another I know at the time, and I've been using Fourscore for quite a number of years now, but I've never understood the difference in the upgrade, and I was just wondering if I should maybe look into that.
It's my understanding that once you buy it in the first place, and if you bought it for $15, good for you. I probably did. I don't remember. My Quicken records don't go back that far. But once you buy it, you own it, and you get all the upgrades for free. For free.
Right, but wasn't there another option to like I don't get all the stamps
Oh, okay.
and some of the bells and whistles.
You're correct. There's an optional subscription for um, I guess it's called ForScore Pro subscriptions, completely optional. And I did get that. That's
Okay.
only $15 a year. Again, I did that pretty much because I felt like they deserved some some love for all the updates and upgrades they keep doing and all the support they give online. And so I guess I have access to those extra stamps, but I'm not clear on what they are. I'm not clear on what it is I have that I wouldn't have if I didn't have the iPad Pro subscription, which again is optional,
Yeah.
$15 a year. Um, you'll find out, I guess, if you fill in the question. They have search bars. There's help within Fourscore itself, and there's help on their website. If you fill in a question and it comes up saying that's only available to Fourscore Pro subscribers, then we'll know
Mhm.
what's missing
Sure.
in your version.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
thanks. And then also, my understanding is that everything that is in Fourscore is on iCloud, but there's a question about backing up Fourscore. Do you back up Fourscore another way or to your Google Drive?
I back it up another way, and this is on the PDF. You can save your original PDFs. Okay, there's a distinction between the PDFs that you started with. Back those up any way that you back up your computer, leave them on your computer, versus the um, Fourscore backup, which is all the annotations I've put on, all the rearranging I've done to the PDFs and some metadata, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, but it might be like if I've organized them into genres and so forth. That's probably part of the metadata. And there's a specific, if you have a newer Mac computer, ForScore gives out a free separate app called Backup Utility. And you can find it on the ForScore website. I put it on the PDF, I believe. But it's ForScore. Remember, it's like ForScore in 7 years ago, but without the U. FORSCORE. ForScore.co/backup hyphen utility. And it's a free separate app. You put that on your computer. Then you connect your iPad and your computer with a cable, and then it'll pretty much walk you through. The software will walk you through what to do. You can save a backup onto ForScore in the first place, and then you can save that. What do they call it? It's everything you had on your iPad on that day. And then I try to remember to do that about every 3 months or so. I don't do it every week, but about every 3 months or so, I try to remember to sit down and do that and back it up with the ForScore backup utility. Now, for Windows computers and for quite a bit older Macs, you used to be able to do it with iTunes file sharing. And these instructions are on the ForScore.co website because Mac took away most of iTunes and most of what iTunes used to do. So that's why ForScore decided to develop and come up with their own backup utility app that you use for backing up. And that'll save your PDFs and the ForScore information. And that's as well as I understand it. So I didn't design it, that's as well as I understand it, but I know that we should back it up in case your iPad breaks and you have to send everything to a new iPad. It's not quite the same as saving it to the cloud. I don't save it to Google Drive. I use ForScore's backup utility to save up ForScore files the way they say they should be saved. Because I
Yeah,
follow directions.
good to know. And I'm sure there's a reason they developed that, right?
And Mary had asked me about, she said, I scan them with his Genius, but I'm afraid to remove them from Genius. If I remove that scan from Genius, will it disappear from ForScore? So I said, well, I said to myself as I was getting ready this morning, what you do is trial and error. Check it out. So I made a PDF of something I scanned in my DocScan Pro. I don't have Genius, of something I didn't care about, and I sent it to ForScore, and it exists in my iPad's files. And I had been thinking every time I send recipes to my smaller iPad, which is what I'm talking to you on right now, I use an iPad about this big for my remote lessons. I thought, I don't need that there, it's taking up room, but I read somewhere on an Apple site, your files is not actually taking up any room. So, okay, I'll worry about it if I run out of space. But it still exists in the files, but it doesn't, I delete it right out of my scanning app. So as far as I know, Mary, the PDF that I saved with my scanning app that I showed you, the DocScan Pro, I delete it right out of there because I don't need it on my phone. And it's still in my ForScore, and it tends to want to go through files before it gets to ForScore, and it's still there.
Okay, that's good to know. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, there's a lot to learn. ForScore is a very deep program that can do a lot of stuff. But what you want to do is just learn how to do what you want to do today. And don't be intimidated by the 500-page user guide or whatever. Just know that you can look it up when you need to. And then if you think, oh, there must be a way to rearrange pages, there probably is. And then you learn how to do that. And
Yeah.
so forth and so on.
I have a
And
quick question. Oh,
somebody just posted a link in the chat for backups if you need, if anybody needs more explanation on backing up.
Good. And these days you can study at the University of YouTube also. You know, there's probably
Yeah.
lots of helpful videos about how to do this or that. Look that up on YouTube. And plus trial and error, and you tap things until you get what you're looking for. And if you go, oh, there's 8 icons, I don't know what they are, just tap them and you'll find out what they are. And you probably, before you delete something, it'll probably check with you. Are you sure you want to delete this? And then you have to
Mhm.
hit delete again. So, so you should be okay.
Great. Mary, you had another question?
Where was that big box? I'm going to use that a lot. You put the
Oh,
big
it's
white box.
on,
Where
yeah.
is that? That's going to be,
First get to your annotation mode.
yep, uh-huh.
On on my version of ForScore, it's either a long tap or double tap in that. Okay, so annotation mode is the squiggly line.
Yep.
Okay, squiggly line, and then we get to this, and then there's all the pens, and over at the left upper corner, there's 2 icons. It's the second one from the left. And tap it and tap it again if it doesn't come up. That's called shapes. Okay, I tapped.
Okay,
It'll
okay.
show it'll
Shape.
show the most it'll show the most recent one you used. And so it might show the icon won't always be the same for shapes. It's going to show the most recent one you used.
Got it.
But it also has a little
Well, you
so
can circle.
5 lines of staff.
Yeah,
I
cool.
use I use that if I get to the end of the system and I always forget what I have to play next. Sometimes I'll draw a little extra piece of staff there and write E minor or draw the next bass note or whatever to help remind me what comes next. Um,
I did not know those were there.
yeah. And then the
That's great.
furthest left icon here is called stamps. I'm going to try to open that. And again, if you just tap it once, it just opens up to whatever you used most recently. So if I just tapped it once, it showed this shape. I don't remember if I ever used that, but you tap it again and the menu will open.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sorry. 2 of my students use iPad because one of them just taught me recently. I had been saying I hesitate to use that to add like a bass clef or a flat or a sharp because I tap it with my finger, with my fat finger, and it doesn't go in exactly the right place. And my student taught me, oh, after you tap where you want it to go, leave your finger there, and it'll show in a little window so you can adjust it.
Mm.
So suppose I'm messing with California, here I come because I don't care. Suppose I want to add a flat. I want to change this to a C flat. Okay, so now I've got flat selected in the stamps. I go
Mm.
I just put my finger down it next to the F. So I just move my finger and it shows a magnification till I get that next to, ooh, it still didn't go right. I must have swiped it by accident when I removed my finger.
Do
Because
you use an eye pencil when you're marking your parts, or are you just using your finger?
I use my finger. Oh, very important. You can zoom in
Right.
when you want.
I
So,
like using the eye pencil for annotations because it just has that finer
it has
tip.
a finer point. Yeah.
Um,
Here.
and I realized how much I liked using that as opposed to my finger after my dog decided it looked like a chew toy. And
Yes.
and so $100 chew toy. So I have yet to replace that,
Yeah.
but that can help sometimes when you're trying to after you expand the screen, really
Mm-hmm.
getting in for those detailed markings.
Mm-hmm. And oh, this is important to know that I was showing my student there. In the annotation, along with the pencils and so forth, there's icon of an eraser. This is supposed to be an eraser. It kind of looks like the eraser on the end of a pencil. The eraser won't erase anything from the original PDF. You need the whiteout or the white rectangle to do that. But this eraser will just erase whatever you've written on there yourself.
Yeah.
So I go like this. Then I can use the eraser. The eraser is going to erase that. without erasing the original PDF. Okay.
Great. We have our one last question, I think, and that is just to review, if you could review again how to create folders, because
Folders.
the folders and the set list, I believe, are in the same.
Yeah. You make you make folders for set lists. Are there, I'm not sure if you can make folders for individual songs. Let's see.
So how do you create a folder?
Okay. Um,
Mhm.
I don't think there's folders for original songs. I just it gives you the choice. Let's see, how did I get there? I tapped on California, Here I Come, and then no wait, that's not what I was trying to select. Um, that's California Dreaming. California, Here I Come. Um, when I click on the little I in a circle, clicked on the little I in a circle, properties. It doesn't give me a choice of folders, but you can put it in a set list. Okay, how to make a set list. Let's see if I can do this. This, in the top main menu, this 3 lines here is a set list. So you can create a set list by going plus. Plus will allow you to create a new set list. And that's where you put, I don't know, Christmas songs or Sarah's lessons or playing at senior centers, etc. Then this is my list of set lists, and this includes, then when you create set lists, you can put them in a folder. How did I do that? Okay, so let's say I want to make a folder of the Sound of Music set list and South Pacific Medley set list. I want to put those together. So I hit I, and then look at so that's already a set list. I selected a set list, and that's giving me a list of folders I've already created: archive, past gigs, student past set lists, students 2026, and new folder. So let's create a new folder. And a window came up, name this set list, and name this folder, sorry. We're putting set lists in a folder. I'm going to call SOM for Sound of Music and SP for South Pacific. And so I typed that in, then I type create, and now there's my folder. And let's see. Oh, I accidentally put it inside sight-reading practice. Oh, wait. Yep, there it is. There's the new. So the folder appears in my list of set lists. And I haven't put anything in yet. I just created that folder called SOM and SP. So now I tap on it. I'm going to go back. Did you see how I tapped on the folder? Oops, tapped on the wrong folder. Tapped on the folder SOM and SP, and it goes plus. I accidentally already included sight reading practice. I don't want to take that out of there, so I just tap there. Plus, do you see the plus? It's editing this set list called SOM and SP, plus asks me which, oh wait, why did it, set list, cancel. Okay, I think I know what to do now. So I created the folder. It doesn't have anything in it yet. Now I'm going to tap this set list information. Yes, once I tap the set list information, it gives me a choice to put it in any of these folders. So I chose to put it in the SOM and SP folder that I created just to show you. And I'm going back to set lists. What did I just put in there? I put in the Sound of Music. Okay, so I still want to put in South Pacific. So I'm clicking on the name of the set list, South Pacific, and I'm, let's see, information, nope. Okay, clicking on South Pacific Medley, and it gives me a choice of what folder I want to put it in. So now the folder, it's a folder of set lists and it shows right alphabetically within the, the list of set lists. But it's
Mhm.
still each set list separately. So it's not going to go directly from the last one of this to the next song in the set list. That's why I use it for, I use a set list for like a list of all the songs I want to play at senior centers, or all the Christmas songs, or only the secular Christmas songs, and only the Christian Christmas songs, and so forth. And then when I have the students, I put each student has their own set list, and I put all of those in a folder that I call Student Set List 2026. So I can just click on that and then just see all those set lists without having to scroll through all my set lists. I see a
Yeah.
couple people nodding, so I think
So,
I helped a couple people.
right. There's one, the way I go to get to a folder is when you go up to the like the hamburger
Mhm.
marking for set list.
Mhm.
And then the three lines in the top right corner of my eye on my program that
Mhm.
has the dots next to it.
Mm.
Is that what does it? Or no, just when I push when I go to set lists and I hit the plus, I get you know a choice of adding a folder or a set list just by going to set list and then plus, but I don't know if I have a different
Oh, okay.
version.
Yeah, I think I might have my plus up at the top.
Okay.
My list of set lists has a plus up at the top.
Okay. And does that give you the choice right off the bat?
Plus, no, it gives me the choice of a new set list.
Okay. So mine has the choice of adding a folder or a set list. So
Okay.
those must be just some of the minor
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
variations.
and that's why I decided not to update my ForScore this morning. One's going to be a little different, and I found,
Right.
like I think I said on mine, when I want to get to and from the main menu, I double tap, and uh, on my student's iPad, we tap once to get to
Uh-huh.
and from that top menu. Everything's going to be a little different, and it's going to be another little learning curve.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We have one more question, but I know we've kind of gone over.
That's okay.
Um, are you okay with your time,
Oh yeah,
Stephanie?
I'm fine. Uh-huh.
The question is there any way of like copying something from a page and adding it to another page as far as
Yes.
can you copy, cut and paste one measure to another part of the score? Let's say you want to tack one measure to a blank page of another on another page. Can you lift that up somehow?
Um, I think the answer to that is that's one of those things that's only available to the ForScore Pro subscribers, which again currently is only $15 a year, because I've never done that. I've done what I already showed you about the rearrange, copy the whole page, and then white out what I don't want.
Yeah.
From what I've read about, only Pro subscribers can edit the PDF, such as copying just one measure and pasting it to another measure on the same PDF.
Yeah.
Um, and I haven't done that yet, but I have access to it. I think that's the answer.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, do what I showed you, the rearrange, and then there is a page that only has three measures down at the bottom.
Right.
You could also do like we used to do in the olden days of photocopy machines before scanning. We used to photocopy something, then cut and paste. I mean, you could print out your PDF on paper, physically cut and tape the paper so it's the way you want it, and then scan that again.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think we've all learned so much. There's lots of comments and thanking you for your time and sharing your knowledge with us today to make this a little bit more accessible and more options that, I learned some things. And so
Yeah.
I think everybody has. Thank you so, so much.
I'm glad if it helped a few people. So thank you for your attention and thank you for asking me to share. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for agreeing to do this, and I will do a follow-up and make the recording available to everyone, so you'll get an email about that.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank
Mary?
you. Thank you,
And
everybody.
we will see all of you in February, I hope. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Stephanie.